This is a Saturday Morning TVLog from Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Welcome to another Saturday Morning TVLog, and this time around it's Jackie Chan Adventures brought to us by Sony, the JC Company, Blue Train Productions, and Adelaide Entertainment. Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm the Big D, and this is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week's Saturday Morning TVLog is Jackie Chan Adventures, an animated series that focuses on fictional adventures of the legendary Hong Kong action star of great movies, Jackie Chan. Originally premiering on the WB network on September 2000, this eventually became a big success. Developed by John Rogers, Dwayne Capizzi, and Jeff Kline, originally produced through Columbia TriStar Television, which would later be Sony Pictures Television. Anyway, the series focuses on a fictionalized version of Chan, who operates in life as an archaeologist and special agent, combating threats that are mainly magical and supernatural, based on real life mythologies and supernatural stories from Asia and around the world, with the aid of his family and allies. Now, many of the episodes created for the series featured references to Chan's actual works, with the actor making live action appearances in the form of an interview situation, since Chan did not actually voice his actual self, his actual fictionalized animated self, but did appear in a live action appearance, as I've already said, answering questions about his life and work. Okay, now then. Now, the series is set in a world which magic and supernatural forces exist but are unknown to much of humanity. These include demons, ghosts, spirits, spells, and various creatures and gods. Although the series focuses mostly on those from Asia, primarily Chinese mythology and folklore, it also includes those from other locations in the world, including Europe and Central America. Now, in the animated series, Chan exists in this setting as a professional archaeologist with a high degree of martial combat skill, who is forced to accept the fact that magic and the supernatural exist when he uncovers a talisman, an artifact that possesses magical powers sought out by a criminal organization. Throughout the series, Chan is aided by his family, including his uncle and niece Jade, and his ally, Captain Black, head of a secret law enforcement organization codenamed Section 13, alongside additional companions introduced over the course of the series. Each season of the program primarily contains an overarching storyline in which Chan and his allies must face off against a dangerous demonic figure, aided by a human henchman, by preventing them from finding a series of magical objects that can help them to conquer the world. Alongside the overarching plotline, seasons also include standalone stories that focus on Chan and his friends combating magical and supernatural forces that are either evil or not understanding of their situation. While storylines feature action sequences focused on magic and martial arts, they also include comedic situations akin to several of Chan's works in action comedy films, like, say, the Rush Hour film. Well, even though its sequel wouldn't come out till the next year, and his recent hit that released the same year, Shanghai Noon. While Chan doesn't provide the voice of his anime character, he appears regularly in live action inserts at the end of the program to offer insights on Chinese history, culture, and philosophy, as well as answering fan questions read by Stacy Chan. Yes, who of course was best known for voicing Jade. Now, of course, she has no relation, and of course, I will point out Stacey Chan is not related to Jackie in any way. Now, of course, there each in each episode each week, Jackie and his allies get into all sorts of situations. Even though, despite Jackie does approve of Jade coming in at times to appear on the Avengers, even when she's supposed to stay put with Uncle and what have you. Oh boy, the fun really begins. I never did catch much of the show until when it was in its final season. Anyway, this show is absolutely really good and what have you. This would be the next big type of hit for Sony's animation block that first will last more than just a single season. Well, actually, not that. Well, actually, be their third one after the Man in Black animated series and the Jumanji animated series. Anyway, the show eventually did decent enough. The show originally started as a Saturday morning show and continued on throughout its run, with some episodes airing on select days and sometimes during the week and what have you. The second season had the most episodes than any of the others, with 39 episodes produced and aired. For the, there were 13 episodes produced and aired for the first season, the fourth season, and the fifth and final season. Then, and the third season had 17 episodes, which made it an overall total of 95 episodes produced and aired. After this 5 season run, the show had ended on July 8th, 2005. Since then, this show proved to be pretty good. I did catch it in reruns when the show later got picked up to be rerun on Cartoon Network. It also later got shown on the Canadian channel YTV. It also had aired on other stations from around the world. Its reviews, it had some good reviews. According to Common Sense Media, given this 4 out of 5 stars, they say this show was lighthearted, entertaining, suspenseful, and humorous. This show may not be deep, but it's a lot of fun. Yep, I couldn't have said that better myself. Now, of course, aside from characters like Jackie, who is voiced by James C. I hope that's how you pronounce that. Now, of course, Stacy Chan, again, no relation to Jackie, voices Jade, and she does a good job. And of course, she also asks the questions. And Uncle is voiced by Sab Shamino. Yes, he's depicted as Jackie's uncle and Jade's great uncle, although he doesn't have no actual name, just referred to as Uncle. Yep, really something, what have you. Now, and then of course, an ally comes in with Toru, voiced by Noah Nelson. Although he was originally introduced in the series as an enforcer for the Dark Hand, who I'll get to in just a moment, because they're actually the main villains. He's a large sumo-sized Japanese man who is skilled in wrestling-like combat and serves as a bit of how should I say this? Well, kind of like a bodyguard, but of course he later serves as Uncle's magic apprentice until becoming a full chi wizard. For other cast members, we have Captain Augustus Black, voiced by Clancy Brown, the voice behind Mr. Krabs on SpongeBob SquarePants, and he had recently voiced Lex Luthor on Superman the Animated Series. Now, he's the leader of Section 13, a longtime friend of Jackie's. He's pretty good. Kepler, voiced by John DiMaggio, who has lent his voice to numerous works, as well as some Marvel games I've played. He's an engineer and inventor at Section 13 who remains skeptical of magic and is often too focused on his work to notice events happening around him. And Taggart McStone, voiced by Christopher Daniel Barnes, who of course would who of course recently voiced the titular character in Spider-Man the Animated Series. And of course he was also the voice of Prince Eric in Disney's Little Mermaid animated feature film from 1989, and also the guy who played Greg Brady in the Brady Bunch movie and a Very Brady sequel. He's a legendary HS Section 13 who was believed to have retired but is later revealed to have remained in the organization in disguise. There would also be recurring characters joining. Amongst them include El Toro Fuerte, voiced by Miguel Sandoval, a Mexican luchador who takes great pride in never removing his mask and fighting honorably. Paco, voiced by Franco Velez, a young Mexican boy and devoted fan of El Toro's, and maintains a friendly rivalry with Jade, where they often argue which of their heroes is better. Viper, voiced by Susan Eisenberg, a skilled martial artist who initially operates as a thief. She's introduced in the first season as a one-time villain, but after crossing paths with Jackie, she reforms and later becomes a member of what Jade refers to as the J-Team. And Super Moose, another character voiced by Clancy Brown, an in-universe comic book superhero. Yeah. Let's see. There's Toru's mother, voiced by Amy Hill. I think I remember that name from somewhere, but I can't quite put my finger on it. Well, but I'm sure. I think I might have remembered her for some movies and what have you. She's the unnamed mother of Toru and is often overprotected of him. There's other characters including Lope, Drew, Miss Harmon, and many others and what have you. Just so incredible. The main antagonists are, aside from one of them, Shendu, also voiced by James C. The same guy who voices Jackie. He's the demon sorcerer of fire and the main antagonist of the first two seasons, thus making recurring appearances thereafter. Then there's the Dark Hand, a criminal syndicate led by the villainous Valmont, originally voiced by Julian Sands in the first two seasons and then Andrew Abelson in seasons 3 to 4. Yes. By the end of the second season, Darkhand becomes defunct. There's also the Shao Kahn, ninja-like Shao warriors who are initially summoned by Shendu. Let's see, Dalon Wong, voiced by James Hung, a dark chi wizard and the main antagonist of season 3, who is described by Jade as the anti-uncle. Is a powerful practitioner of dark magic and maintains a fierce rivalry with Uncle. The Dark Chi Warriors, demonic servants, created and transformed by Dalon Wong. Yeah. And then in season 4, they took on Tarakuda, voiced by Miguel Ferrer, who I know him from some movies. He's the Lord of all Oni and the main antagonist of season 4, as I've already said. He seeks to collect the 9 Oni masks to free his generals and control the Shadow Khan. And then Drago, voiced by Michael Rosenbaum, who of course played Lex Luthor on the WB's hit series of Smallville. And of course, he also appeared in Urban Legend. Now, he's Shendu's son from the future and the main antagonist of the fifth and final season. Like his father, Drago is a demonic dragon endowed with fire demon chi. Yeah. And he harbors a grudge toward Jade because her adult self opposed him in his original timeline. Though he's originally introduced as a one-time villain in season 4 before becoming the main antagonist of the final season. In the series finale, he and Shendu are both banished to the Netherworld. Now, for the rest of the henchmen of the Dark Hand, the Enforcers, they include Finn, voiced by Am Baldwin, Ratso, voiced by Clancy Brown, Chow, voiced by James C., and Hak Fu, voiced by Jim Cummings in the first season, and John DiMaggio from season 2 and onwards. Then there's the Ice Crew, a criminal group of teenage martial artists who serve Drago. There's Strike Master Ice, voiced by Mike Irwin, MC Cobra, voiced by Jeff Fisher, and DJ Fist. Then there's the Demon Sorcerers, Shendu's siblings, ancient demons sealed in the netherworld by the eight immortals centuries ago using the Panku box. Those are Po Kong, voiced by Mona Marshall, Xiao Feng, voiced by Glenn Shaddix, Chang Zhu, voiced by Clancy Brown, Solan, also voiced by Glenn Shaddix, Dai Gui, voiced by voice guy Frank Welker, Siwoo, voiced by Andre Soglioso, who I know did the vocal effects for Sparks of Dragonfly and the Spiral of the Dragon games, Bai Za, also voiced by Mona Marshall. They also have the Oni generals, Tarakudo's underlings, each in command of a specific tribe. Only one's mentioned by a voice, and that's Akuzuki, the leader of the group, voiced by Maurice LaMarche, who had recently done voice acting for the real Ghostbusters and Animaniacs, as well as its spin-off of Pinky and the Brain. It's joined by other members, but there's too many to mention. But there's other minor antagonists and what have you, including Carnivore, voiced by Ron Perlman before he did Hellboy, and the Gnome Cop, voiced by Brian Doyle Murray, the Yokonawa crime family, led by an unnamed boss, voiced by Clyde Kusatsu, John Smith, voiced by Dan Gilvezan, best known for voicing Spider-Man in Spider-Man's Amazing Friends, Cooler in Hanna-Barbera's Pound Puppies, and Bumblebee in the original Transformers animated series. Believe me, the list goes on and what have you. There's so many of these bad guys that Jackie and the gang take on. But overall, I found this show to be a pretty fun experience. Please stand by. When the show made its debut, it aired in the 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock Central time slot, where among the shows that it faced off included on some parts the Saturday early show on CBS, or in some parts would be the Nick on CBS block. Then on ABC, it went up against the Disney One Saturday morning for the first 3 months, and then Recess. And as for Fox, it was going up against Digimon for the first few months, and then Big Guy and Rusty the Boy Robot for the rest of its run. Well, believe me, but then it took on lots of others and what have you. But that's how I'm going to give you for just its first season. But it probably faced a few more. But soon, this was kind of coming when some shows were starting to die off because the FCC was continuing to give these here networks a chance to do programs stamped with the EI seal of approval, educational and informative, as I really think it should be called. Okay. But now, for those of you who may not have seen the show, here's a look at the characters. Here's a look at most of them. There's Toru, there's Jackie, and Uncle and Jade, plus there's El Toro and Miguel. I'm sorry I can't really find much of anything else with other characters and what have you. If you want to know what they look like, then watch for yourself. Now, this show had formerly been available on Tubi last year, and that's when I watched all of it. But after that, they dropped it, and well, this show's unfortunately nowhere to be available to watch to stream anywhere. I'm not really sure if it's on physical media, but if it is, maybe in some episodes. But it's not any complete series or season set, so I wish you the best of luck in finding this if you've never seen this. But this is a show I definitely would recommend you watch. If you are a Jackie Chan fan, then this is definitely worth looking into. It's a good show. It's got great action, great thrills, and what have you, and great characters. Definitely would recommend it. So, what did you think of Jackie Chan Adventures? Did you ever watch this show? If so, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, click the bell for notifications, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. And join me later tonight for my spoiler-free review of The Mandalorian and Grogu, and also expect an out-of-the-year reaction as well. So if you like this, check out some of my reviews of A couple of anime features Jackie Chan did, and they're the first two installments of a big franchise. The upper left-hand corner is my review of Kung Fu Panda. The upper right-hand corner is my review of its sequel, Kung Fu Panda 2. You can also check out my reviews of the other films, even though he doesn't lend his voice to the fourth one. Or if you would like another cartoon with a little Asian American type feel to it, check it, or what have you, check out my Saturday Morning TVLog on Hanna-Barbera's 1972 mystery tune, The Amazing Chan, The Chan Clan, in the bottom left-hand corner. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as the Saturday Morning TVLog. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and next week's Saturday Morning TVLog is Hot Wheels. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying see ya.